At the top of the world in our homeland of Nunavut, ancient Inuktitut tell us of our past and become our milestones to the future. An Inuktitut was built as an indicator so that people will know where others have been and where it is safe to go. Inuktitut are like fingerprints upon the land. No two are the same. And to see them again reminds me of my childhood, of where I have come from and where I have gone. It's good to be home again. My name is Awiak Novalinga, and I am back in Sanikidoak. People in the south know me as the artist who makes beautiful Inuit carvings, but here with my friends and relatives, I am just Awiak. My companions, Lucasy the captain, he's my cousin. We grew up together. Salamoni, he's the best hunter I know, and we'll need food on our trip. Noah, the first mate, a good name for him, don't you think? And Charlie Tuktu, who heard we were going traveling to find Inuktitut and asked to come along. He wants to learn about the traditional ways, he said. I like that about him. Lucasy chooses the route up to the King George Islands, to a favorite camping spot. There it is, standing tall like a welcoming figure, the old Inuktitut that we have known since childhood. Lucasy's grandfather used to come up here to hunt. Of course, he traveled by kayak, and when he saw this Inuktitut, he knew he was coming into a safe harbor, just as we are now. In the south, where I live now, sometimes they make small Inuktitut sculptures for people to buy. I tell them that the word Inuktitut means like a person, because Inuktitut guide us in so many different ways. Some were built so that people could see them from far away. Others were hidden from view and were meant to mark special places. They were only revealed when you got there. This one was built in the form of a cache, hollow in the bottom, so that people could keep food supplies safely inside. As a sculptor myself, I like to see how they are constructed. Different every time and always with whatever rocks exist on the land. Some places have boulders washed by the sea. Other places have flat rocks or big squares broken into slabs by the ice and snow. We work hard to bring shape and meaning into this world. We speak and we act and we struggle to reveal the world. These Inuktitut are not decorations on the landscape. They are the landscape, the world we must create. But are they not also objects of great beauty? I feel their strength and their comfort. They make me feel alive. How many songs I have within me, I cannot tell you. But being here again, I have a desire to sing. And I sing as I draw breath. There is only one great thing, the only thing, to live to see the great day that dawns and the light that fills the world. The next day we climbed to the interior of the island and found a whole collection of inuksuit that were not visible from our camp. The lichen growing on the rocks tell me these have been here a long time. Maybe they were built by our ancestors. Some people call them the Tunit or Dorset people, 1,000 or more years ago. We learned from them about building these markers, our inuksuit. I could see that there were 3 of them built in a straight line pointing towards another island in the distance. This was their traveling route from one camp to another. But maybe these old ones weren't just milestones, maybe something else. I remember being told the story of another group of inuksuit further north. The men had gone hunting and told the women not to fish from the edge of the ice, but the women did so anyway. The ice broke away and the women were lost at sea. When the men returned, they were so sad that they built inuksuit up on the flatland for all the women they had lost, because they wanted the souls of their wives to be on dry land, not out in the cruel sea. Charlie will be a man soon, and after that, perhaps a leader in his community. It's important for him to learn about his past if he and his friends are to lead their community into the future. You can't know where you are going if you don't know where you have been. I tell him that our grandfathers used to travel here by kayak. Now we use a boat with twin outboards. So what? We can choose what works best for us from modern life and mix it with our traditional ways. We're still the same people, but I want Charlie to know how we use the inuksuit, and he seems eager to know. It's just another way of going to school, I tell him.
Avangaluni, Harakpiluni, Takunasao Nahtavini, that's swimming. Tamanit enemy, Tamani to hot off in Hariman Doni, Upaluna, Hariman Torting, in Unitamani to know the Tautseni army, Sinit Tautseni army. That was how to win the Tamani, the Kunarati, Tavani, Sintatus the man. Tamani, the Tagani to not trusting, not to see how to some money. The Kunaun is after doing it, that's me. With his maple leafs hat and raptor's jacket, Charlie knows much more about life in the South than I did at his age. He's a smart kid, and he's right to learn all he can about computers and modern life. That's part of our future too. But when we stop for tea at a small island marked by an inuksuit at each end, I see my younger self for a moment as Charlie jokes with Nora, the maid, and they are comfortable and happy on the land. The beauty all around them, the wind lifts their spirits. And above them, protecting them, are the 2 inuksuit, built so that even with the landscape covered in snow, they would be visible and invite the hunters to camp. In winter, when you can't tell where the frozen sea ends and the frozen land begins, the inuksuit are your guides. Charlie wants to be a hunter, and he must learn about such places. Inuksuit are important for hunters, and not just for campsites.
In some parts of the north, they help hunters direct herds of game. My cousin, the great Captain Lucasy, wants to take us now to the Saliquid Islands, where he reminds me we used to hunt birds in July when we were Charlie's age. It's good to be with Lucasy again. I can always count on him. He is solid like the land. In the lolly, ako inu trimitzano. Dayma, ako ni inu tatchuma ako na actually nalakin. Tatchuma, tatchuma ni altaga, ako atoktawan na tambari kudutstik. Ako, tavan. Dayma maligarang walak tangita sa mga lealtik. Inu tatchuma ni ako. The last leg of our journey takes us through the long fingers of land down to the south end of the Belcher Islands to Inukjualuit. The good eyes of Noah saw us through the tricky passages, but he too was relying on the milestones to guide him. I've shown pictures of this place to my southern friends, and they say, "Oh yeah, it looks so lonely there, so flat, without scenery." But I tell them, it's not about scenery. This is a special place for me, because I was born near this very spot at my family's summer camp. At that time, according to Lucasy, there were 2 Inukjuit here built by 2 men of our father's generation. The 2 men agreed that the first of them to die would be the one whose Inukjuk collapsed first. Well, the 2 Inukjuk stood there for over 75 years, and then one day this one fell down. A short time later, the man who built it passed away. So we leave it like that, because it tells the story. The other man's Inukjuk still stands, and it is in direct line with another one, indicating safe passage for winter hunters who pass this way. In some places, Inukjuit connect up with each other for hundreds of kilometers, creating a huge web of intersecting lines. A storm came up, and we hid in a cove where Lucasy had built his own Inukjuk a few years ago. We radioed Lucasy's brother, Joanasi, who brought down his big trawler to take the camera crew back to Sanikidoak. Both the crew and Lucasy had an appointment at the school to tell the students where we had been and what we had seen.
Lucasy wrote in the entry at the end to Tamani, Hikatani at Ilipangatakwat Lotto, Temuna Civilipanga, intrusoni, Kiglaku, Intruelame, West Semi, Nujachilok, Tema, Avona, Tana Avona, Amaluna Panga, Temitu later what long Tamani iluhatsuti intrutinate. Amulima yang tak wat long you inuanit intrusted. Amalu hakau hangan itsuti imelang on router now imelang to tak wat long you. Amulking banga imelang on tak wat long you tikudokni. Abong tikudokni tak wat long you taman hekatani. Temenya Melon king libanga intrusoni tikutok to tikutok ni ngate mak suntahamman.
The children drew and painted the most beautiful pictures of our journey as described to them by Lucasy. It was almost as if they had been there with us. As an artist myself, I can tell you that these are very talented young people, and it brings me such happiness to see their work and their understanding of our culture. Many of their paintings will be used as illustrations in a new storybook written by my wife Nihanani, so these images will live on. Almost all of the children chose to draw the Inukshuk as a human figure with legs and arms standing guard over the landscape. They sense, and I think they are right, that the Inukshuk is a form of communication between the land and the people, and between the people themselves. Without Inukshuk in the landscape, we would be lost, for they are our guides. And these children are the future of Nunavut, and they must know our land. I figure someday soon they will all build their own milestones to the future, like their fathers and mothers before them. I cannot leave Sanikiluaq without building an Inukshuk with my old friends here. The teamwork is very important. I never forget who I built with, and they never forget me.
Inukshuk, now the people know we were here.
You know, Inukshuk are messages fixed in time and space. They indicate so many different things. Safe harbor here, dangerous place over there, depth of snow in winter, or maybe just a personal note left on the landscape. They are messages across the generations. As the ocean heaves and the rivers flow, so do our lives. Sometimes when I chant, I remember the words of the Iklulik shaman, Uvavnuk, who sang a long time ago for all of us now in Nunavut. The great sea has set me adrift. It moves me as a small plant in the running river. Earth and the mighty weather move me, storm through me, have carried me away, and I tremble with joy.